Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Discussion America with me, Anthony Fiorinelli. Well, I thought I was going to be able to switch gears and talk a little bit about local local politics. Governor Cuomo, doing a power grab. He wants to take over the MTA and doing congestion pricing and a bunch of other local stuff going on. But this government shutdown and the Democratic Party and their stubbornness to pony up with the 5.7 billion is just a little bit too important for me to put that on the side to talk about Governor Cuomo and his power grab for more power here in the city. Well, it's still going on. You got 800,000 people still struggling, without pay and on furlough and trying to do the best they can. And you have two sides that are just like stubborn and not moving an inch. Well, I can't say they're not moving an inch. The other day, President Trump, he extended an olive branch. And the Democratic Party pretty much slapped it out of his hand and told him to go screw himself. And the mainstream media kind of helped him along. In the old days, if the president announced that he had something very important to talk about and tell the American people, there would be across the board coverage with all the TV stations. They're going to cover that speech. Whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's an hour, whether it's 2 hours, they were going to cover them. Supposedly, the other day, it was supposed to be 3 p.m. speech. I turned on the TV and nothing. Yesterday, there was supposed to be a speech. It was nothing. I didn't see anything, college basketball or regular basketball, some kind of basketball. I don't know. And did not see the president talk about anything. And, on Facebook today, they said, time was switched to 4 o'clock. Supposedly, Fox News Channel aired bits and pieces of it. But still, the President of the United States wanted to talk about something important. I think we owe him the respect to listen to what he has to say. It turns out that what he did was offer a 3-year extension to DACA, to some kind of protection for the children here illegally under no fault of their own, but they're here still illegally. He's offering some kind of protection for them that'll take it into the next presidency, whether it's him or somebody else. Okay? That would at least give both sides, one side, whatever, a chance to debate it, to talk about it, to bring about change, to bring about some kind of policy to deal with this here on a legislative basis, other than just like Obama writing a little letter down saying, okay, they can stay. And that's the problem that it's been. The Democratic Party, the Democratic Congress wants a more solid protection plan for the illegal aliens, the illegal children, regardless of the fact that it's no fault of their own, that they were brought here, that they're in jeopardy of losing that status and having to go. And I understand that. I understand that they've been here since they're babies or what, and they've been going to school, and they're, you could be going to school with one, you can go and working with one, you don't know it, and they're just like you and I don't doubt it, and I'm not saying anything about that. But it's still, they were put in a position, not by us, not by the government, but by their own parents. But yet, we're made to feel sorry enough for them to say, okay, close our eyes to the fact that laws were broken, and that we got to just close our eyes and say, yeah, you know what, let them stay, they've achieved. But what about the ones that didn't achieve? What about the ones that, broke laws? Are they going to be extended the same benefits and the same courtesy? Nobody's talking about that. But President Trump offered a 3-year extension to talk about this in exchange for $5.7 billion to get the wall built. Now, we're not talking about 1,954 miles of coast-to-coast wall. We're talking somewhere in the neighborhood, I think they're 284 miles. That's it. Some kind of solid barrier in certain key points along the border to aid the Border Patrol so they can free up some personnel they need in more important areas along the border. Trump laid all that out. And Pelosi says, this is a non-starter. We're not giving you anything. And they're blaming this whole thing on Trump. And I tell you why. When they sent the budget in, they sent it in, and in the budget, there was that $5.7 billion. The Democrats claiming that, we signed a bipartisan budget. No, what they did was they crossed out the $5.7 billion and just like, okay, we'll give you $1 billion. Really? They knew at that point when they did that, he wasn't going to sign it. They knew he wasn't going to sign it, but they're blaming him for shutting down. They're blaming him for shutting down the government. You cannot run a government without a budget. They knew he was not going to sign it, and they knew the budget was not going to go through. So essentially, they knew by what they did, there was not going to be any funding for the government, and they knew there was going to be a partial shutdown of the government. So no, don't go blaming the president for shutting down the government. Blame the Congress, the Democrats, for pulling a move by taking a $5.7 billion out of the budget. Now we're talking a budget of several trillion or whatever trillions of dollars we're talking about. That's like taking $57 out of your home budget not to get the car repaired. Think about that. That's like whatever your budget is at home, that's saying, I'm not going to give you $57 to fix the car. If the tires fall off the car, we don't care. Let the tires fall, but you're not going to get the $57 to fix the car. That's what we're talking about. Okay? That's like the differences in what we're talking about. So you got to put things into perspective here. They're not giving him the money because they just out and out hate him. One congressman gets on TV this morning and says, that we're not gonna do anything about the wall because we're not gonna set a precedent by giving him the money for the wall, and then in the future having another president shut down the government because he wants something, because they put a gun to our head saying we'll shut down the government, and you give me what I want. It's the Congress pulled out of the budget what they didn't want to give him because they knew he wanted it. So just think about that for a minute. And here's another thing about the media. I mean, we just showed that they didn't want to air his speech to let the American people know. Several of my friends that didn't have any idea that there was a speech. Nobody had an idea. They found it they ended up, after I said something, found it on YouTube. But this gives you an example. There was a Twitter posting about these young high school students, Christian high school students, that were wearing mega hats. And they were chanting their school slogans or whatever. And according to what the post was one of the students was like in the face of an indigenous man that was beating a drum. We're talking like inches from his face, smiling. And it was like almost like an aggressive move, even though he wasn't like raising his hands or yelling at him, but just the closeness of him to this man was construed as an aggressive act. and with the other kids behind him yelling and hooping and hollering and chanting. The video, the piece that was aired, made it look like these kids were being aggressive, and it was just like it was a horrible thing to look at, and it was posted. So now on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos, he wasn't in. Some other reporter was there. I wasn't really paying attention. I was busy doing something else, preparing for the show. And then I heard the reporter ask this Republican senator or congressman about what does he think about this video. Does he think that Trump's rhetoric and the way he speaks to people and the way he conducts himself, is that a signal to the young people to act in the same way? And that's how they're treating other people. Is it like a green light for them to act disrespectful to people because he is? And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not sure exactly what was said, but that's kind of like what I caught in my ear. And I caught the video out of the corner of my eyes. I'm watching. And I'm saying, yeah, you know what? That's pretty screwed up. These kids, they should learn to respect their elders a little bit, you know. And I thought it was a pretty messed up thing, and didn't pay too much attention to it because, like I said, I was busy. But then later on, when I was on Facebook and I was looking at other things, I came across his post that video was a hoax. I'm gonna put the link up to that video. You know, when you're watching my show, there'll be a link in the description to go to that video and watch the whole video and watch other clips with regard to the same event, on how that indigenous man that was beating the drum walked up to the kids and got in their face. And some things were said by the indigenous man to the kids. And that kid that was just smiling there, just like staring at him, that was his way of like being polite, saying, okay, how do I respond to this? I am not going to talk back to this older man because he's an older man. I'm not going to disrespect him by talking back to him or saying anything to him. So this whole bull with this post was a hoax to make these kids look bad that they were disrespecting this man, when it was the opposite. When this man was disrespecting these kids by getting in their face when they were just at a rally and they were just doing their thing, and they're excited about their school, and this guy walks up with some other people, and it turns out that he's an activist, that he's an indigenous man activist. And this just goes to show you that what used to be a well-respected news agency like ABC, this is ABC Network, and not even local, we're talking ABC Network, we're talking their political show, doesn't even double-check, triple-check their source with regard to this video, and they're using it to slam the president and how he acts with people. Then they had the nerve to ask this congressman his opinion on his Republican Republican president. And it was bogus. It was phony. The video happened, but the storyline behind it was phony. It wasn't that the kids were taunting the man. It was the other way around. But the way it was posted, the way it was cut, the video, and posted, it made it look the opposite way. But nobody bothered to double check it. They just put it up there, and it made everybody believe that's the way it is. That's what I'm talking about. And that's why, listen, I'm part of the media. You know, I 25 years as a spot news photojournalist. And I got to tell you something. I've seen the changes in this industry. I've seen it where it's no longer fact. I miss Bill Butel. I miss the old school reporters. They told the truth. These people now, they look for sensationalism. They interject their opinions. That's not news. That's being in a blog. News is news. It's the facts. And that's what I try to do here. I try to give you the facts. That's why I really do try to stay out of the he said, she said politics of Democrats and Republicans. It turns out that what I'm giving you is the facts. You know, if a Republican says something stupid, I'm going to ride him. I'm going to get on him. I've done that already. I've done it with Mitch McConnell. But, you know, come on. How does a news agency like ABC not check the validity of that video and make sure that what they're gonna come at that congressman with is going to be truthful? Just to be sensational, just to make the president look bad, and on top of that, not air his speech. Come on, man. What happened to the dignity of this industry? Seriously. Okay? Next. What I believe? Here's what I believe. I believe that Congress, the Senate, the president, nobody should get a paycheck until this is settled. I believe if 800,000 workers are not getting paid and are working and not getting paid and getting furloughed, I believe that these heads of states, they shouldn't get a dime, because it's their fault for not coming together and getting this thing done that those poor people are not getting paid. Period. You don't deserve to get paid. Matter of fact, you deserve to get fired, because as far as I'm concerned, the president is trying. He's offering a little bit. So he's offering a little bit. He's not offering you the granddaddy. He's offering you an olive branch to get it going. And he's not asking you for $50 billion. He's asking you for $5. And he wants 284 miles of wall. And that's what Border Patrol wants. We're not talking about coast-to-coast wall. Please understand that, people. He's not talking about a wall that's going coast-to-coast. He's talking about 284 miles with strategically placed solid fencing or slats in areas that they need it, so they can free up bodies to go to other areas that need the personnel. That's what he's asking for. What don't they understand, or they don't want to understand? They don't want him to be successful in anything. They want to be able to use this in 2020. Well, keep it up, because if they keep it up, 2020 is going to come real fast and real hard for them, because the people are going to wake up and see what the Democrats are doing or pretty much not doing. People see that the president's coming out with an olive branch. Let's do the negotiations. I'll give you the DACA extension. You give me the wall. President's coming up with a fair offer. Then once the offer is there, accept that offer, give him his wall. You got protection for the DACA into the next presidency, mind you. If they have a good candidate and you get a Democratic candidate in there, well, then they're home free. They got the protection. They can capitalize on that. All right? They're not looking at it like that. They want a home run right now. They're flexing their muscles. That's all they're doing, is flexing their muscles and puffing their chest. Not going to get anywhere doing that. And you know what? The president doesn't trust them. Neither do I. And neither should you. Don't think for 1 minute that if he opened up that border, that they're going to negotiate in a fair way and eventually get some kind of an agreement going for that wall. They're saying no wall. They're saying border protection. They like to hear themselves talk, people. They're going to talk until the 2020 election. Nothing's going to get done. Nothing's going to get done. They're not going to get anything done. That's their MO. Nothing's going to get done. Plain and simple. That's what they do. They do nothing. And President Trump knows this. And sorry that the people are suffering, but call your damn congressman. You're suffering? Call your congressman. Tell him give him the money. Tell him give him the money or I'm not voting for you. There's the power. Understand, they work for us. Call up Schumer. Say, Schumer, give him the money or we're not voting for you next time. You know, call Pelosi. Well, she's going to be out of it anyway. Call your local congressman. Vote. Give him the money, or you're not going to get in next time. You people don't realize the power that you have in your vote. Call your congressman. If you really want to get back to work, 800,000 of you, get on the phone. Call your congressman. You want to get your paycheck? Call your congressman. Call your congressman and say, give him his damn money. $5.7 billion out of a multi-trillion-dollar budget, that means nothing. $5.7 billion means nothing out of a multi-trillion-dollar budget. Think about that. That's chump change. Get him. Call your congressman. Call your representatives. Make them give them the money, or tell them you're not voting for them. That's your power. You want your paycheck? Do it. Just do it. End this stupid thing. Pull your power. They work for us. All right? They work for us. Man, to make you guys understand this stuff, we don't work for them. They do bidding for us. They're out that's why they're called representatives. Because they represent us. We the people. Guys, really, seriously. That's, you guys understand that. They work for us. They want to keep their jobs. You got to call them. All right? So now, you have no coverage for his speech. You have fake reports about kids going nuts on some indigenous man. You have an olive branch being given to the Democratic Party congressional leaders, and the government's still closed. You have President Trump trying to negotiate, and right out of her mouth, it's a non-starter. And yet, I have yet to hear out of any one of those congressmen a viable solution that is going to work other than a wall. I have yet to hear any one of them say, a wall isn't effective, but this is effective. This will work better than a wall. I would definitely fund this project. But a wall, no. I would fund this project because this project will work. I've yet to hear that. They're not saying that. How can you start a negotiation if you don't have something to put on the table? Just no. No, I don't believe in it. No, it's immoral. No, it's not going to work. Why isn't it going to work? They got walls around prisons. Other countries have border walls. They seem to work. You got a wall around your property, don't you? You got a wall around your property. Why do you have a wall around your property? Because you don't want people coming into your property. We don't want people coming into our property, which is the United States. It's simple. This is not rocket science, people. This is the Congress hating the president and not wanting to make him look good because 2020 is around the corner. Because if he gets the wall and it's built, and the numbers that cost us, a taxpayer, almost $200 billion a year, if those numbers come down after that wall goes up, and after he does his border security, and those numbers come down considerably, then guess what? He looks good. They don't want it to look good for 2020. That's why they don't want to give him the $5.7 billion. They want to keep hammering him, make him look bad. That's why that post came out. That's why that Channel 7 political show try to make him look bad with the congressman, asking the congressman, how do these kids, why do they look so aggravated? Why did they look so disrespectful? When it wasn't them? Think about what's going on. That's all I want you guys to do is think. Think for yourselves. See what's going on in front of you. Do your research and just think for yourselves. Don't just be blind sheep listening to what the mass media is telling you, the mainstream media is telling you, and just go with what they're saying, because they do lie. They lie to make their agenda fit the narrative. Not one news agency, not one newspaper should ever back a political figure, because they only should be giving you the facts. They shouldn't back anybody. They should be neutral. Give you the facts, what their record is, what they voted on. That's what they should do. They should not try to plant a notion in your head of who's better than the other one. That's wrong. That is election tampering. That is trying to get you to vote one way over another way. If somebody's better than the other one, just tell them what their record is. Their record of voting, their record of policies, what they've done, the humanitarian efforts, what they've done with their lives, who they helped, who they didn't help. That's what makes somebody a viable candidate for any office. Dog catch all the way up to president. Why is that person suited for that job? A resume. Okay? Post their resume. What they've done, what they haven't done. What's their education? Why are they qualified for the job? Not this crap. Not this crap that they do. Not this name calling anybody a clown, ridiculous. This is stupid. Childish. We're adults. We're not children. We're adults. Act like it. This 2020 race is going to be a crazy one. There's going to be all kinds of crap going on. And I'm going to try to call everybody. Every time I see an injustice done with the mainstream media, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to call you out on it. ABC, CBS, NBC, I don't care who you are. New York Post, Daily News, Times, I don't care who you are. I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to bring attention to what you are doing. It's going to be a fair race. So far, I haven't seen anything viable for a Democratic runner. Who they got coming out now is a joke. And they want to go against Trump. He'll eat them up alive so far. The candidates coming out, he'll eat them up alive. But yet then they'll go crying in the street about, oh, Trump is president. Come on. Please. But in any case, this shutdown is real. People are getting hurt. Trump offered an olive branch. They slapped him in his face with it. The mainstream media did not even air it. Half the people didn't even realize what was happening because they just go by what they hear on the news. They didn't even hear the speech unless they decide to go look it up on YouTube to see if they could find it. What's that all about? But a Democrat wants to talk. All press is stop. Everybody listens. What's Pelosi have to say? What's Schumer have to say? Please, come on. Then while everything is shut down, she has the audacity to want to take a junket to Afghanistan, to a war zone. Please. That's a vacation hidden and disguised as a 5-minute war zone stop with a delegate of 93, most of them family members of the congressman that she's taken. Give me a break. Give me a break, please. A week-long trip. That's not a stopover to talk to the soldiers. That's like, okay, let's go to here, let's go to here, let's go to there. But we'll stop over in Afghanistan for like 15, 20 minutes. We'll talk to the troops, and then we'll continue on to do our vacation. And we'll just write it off to the government. Really? Think the American people are that stupid, Nancy? I'm glad Trump pulled a plug on you, and I'm glad he did it last minute to make you look like a fool. That was great. But he should have did it once you got to Afghanistan and then pulled the plane. Left you stranded. While people are starving, while bills aren't getting paid, you're going to take a plane trip? You're going to go to Afghanistan and then do a vacation a week long? You got nerve. Nothing you got nerve for, Nancy. Your $1,000 a week alcohol bill going back and forth to where you live that we got to pay for. $52,000 a week, people. Look it up. Don't even listen to me. Just look on the internet. $52,000 a year. Nancy Pelosi spends our money, our tax dollars, on booze on a plane back and forth to where she lives in California. 52 grand, alcohol. Drink it up, baby. My tax dollars, well spent. And these poor people aren't getting paid. You got nerve. Well, I said enough. Oh, one more thing. You realize that when the government doesn't act to secure our borders according to the Constitution, that's a treasonous act. I'll put that up there too. That'll be my last. What do you call it? Picture that'll come up now. It'll be up now. 1, 2, 3. Here it is. Look at that. All right, I think I've spoken enough today. Everybody, guys, I'm really sorry that you're not getting paid. I really, truly am sorry you're not getting paid. I'm sorry that you guys got stuck in the middle of this crap that Trump wants his wall, and he should have it. It protects our borders. The Democrats just don't want to give it to him, and they're not. No matter what Trump offers, they're not going to give it to him. He's going to have to do a national emergency. That's my opinion. He's going to have to do a national emergency, and they're going to bring him to court about it. He's going to have to fight about it, and he's going to have to do this here. But that's what he's going to have to do. And when that's all said and done, then he'll open the government, and you guys are going to get paid. But if you want to get paid sooner than that, you need to call your congressman and your senators. You got to call them. So if they want to get reelected, they better get this done. Give him his money. Okay? Well, try to have a good week. I know it's impossible when you're this stressed out. But for the rest of you guys, have a great week. Till next week, as Anthony Fiorinelli saying, see you later. Oh, by the way, visit www.mybdp.com. Check out some of the products there. I got some ebooks up there. You can check out Big Daddy Leathers for if you have a motorcycle and you want some, snakeskin leather for your bike. Dress your bike up a little bit. I have pig snot cleaning products up there. Check it out, nybdp.com. Check me out, all right? Take care, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.